script in sight. On the reel with Mac, it's movie night. Mac movie reviews hot off the press. From the cult classic gems to the Hollywood stress. Popcorn's ready, grab your best seat. Mac's the one-stop shop where the cinema meets. Heroes, villains, plot twists untold. Rom-coms, dramas, adventures bold. A critic with heart and a little flair. Mac breaks it down like you're already there. Mac movie reviews hot off the press. From the cult classic gems to the Hollywood stress. Popcorn's ready, grab your best seat. Mac's the one-stop shop where the cinema meets. Thumbs up, down, or somewhere between. Mac's the eye through the movie screen. Know what to stream or skip today. Mac's got the insight to light the way. Mac movie reviews hot off the press. From the cult classic gems to the Hollywood stress. Popcorn's ready, grab your best seat. Mac's the one-stop shop where the cinema meets. Lights dim down, click play, we're live. Mac's got the vibe where the movies thrive. Breaking it down, no script in sight. On the reel with Mac, it's movie night. Mac movie reviews hot off the press. From the cult classic gems to the Hollywood stress. Popcorn's ready, grab your best seat. Mac's the one-stop shop where the cinema meets. Heroes, villains, plot twists untold. Rom-coms, dramas, adventures bold. A critic with heart and a little flair. Mac breaks it down like you're already there. Mac movie reviews hot off the press. From the cult classic gems to the Hollywood stress. Popcorn's ready, grab your best seat. Mac's the one-stop shop where the cinema meets. Thumbs up, down, or somewhere between. Mac's the eye through the movie screen. Know what to stream or skip today. Mac's got the insight to light the way. Mac movie reviews hot off the press. From the cult classic gems to the Hollywood stress. Popcorn's ready, grab your best seat. Mac's the one-stop shop where the cinema meets.
Yeah, that sexy ass new intro music. Yeah, definitely good. Welcome to the Friday night live stream. I am happy to be back. It has been a minute. We have been super busy, everything work wise, but I'm back. I just posted a review of On This Is Bloodlines, and I'm excited to get started with this live stream summer. We got the sexy new intros on the channel, on the live stream, and of course, I can't do this live stream on my own. I'm joined here by my fellow undercover brother, Rod, aka the Cinema Gallery. My brother, what is good in the hood?
My brother from another mother. What's going on, Mac? How you doing? It's been a long time no see.
Yeah, work and everything, and mostly just just getting everything right in life. Nothing bad, but mostly just haven't had the time to really sit down and do such. But I'm still trying to check in everything. I know. I think last time, like before even this, we talked. You sent me the post for the new Medea movie coming out, July, and then we have a date now, July 11th. So
I didn't know there was a date.
yeah, okay. I meant to text you. It's July 11th. We're getting the new Medea movie.
Okay, well that's disappointing, but also exciting. I know what I'm doing July 11th now is watching it. Hold on, is that the same weekend as Superman?
Yes.
Tyler Perry.
Who's gonna win, Superman or Medea? This is the true question.
Okay, you know what, Mac? We laugh about that, but that's actually a serious question because the black crowd will come out and watch it. Will pump up those streaming numbers. Okay, so
let's not. True. People who may not go to the movie theaters and might just stay home and watch Medea.
Well, listen, we all know Superman's going to be the better movie and the better experience, right?
We don't know that. We don't know that.
We don't because of DC's track record. However, Mac, I will say this. Like I said earlier, the black crowd will come out for Medea, even though it's going to go on Netflix. Mac, you and I both know that what I want to say, I can't say on YouTube, but yeah, the black people will come out. We'll just leave it at that.
Wasn't Medea supposed to be done like 5 years ago? What the hell happened?
I don't want to talk about it, man. I just Tyler Perry, and I love Tyler Perry.
Mm-hmm.
He knows his niche, and he knows his audience, and so he can't let go of Medea. He just can't.
It's too close to home with him.
It is. It's too close to home, and it's a franchise, Mac. Like I can't think of a good franchise right now, but it's a franchise.
Tyler Perry Medea franchise, of course.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to find a franchise to compare Medea to, but maybe Final Destination. Like the Final Destination knows its audience.
Well, that's a little disrespectful to Final Destination.
It honestly kind of is, but it's yeah, that was gonna be a bad example, but
I mean, I have Medea Goes to Jail on YouTube, like the play. Like I bought it years ago when I was a kid, when Google Play was like giving them out credits and everything, and like I have it on DVD, and it's like the man can write plays. Like if he actually he's a good playwright. I know people are like, he's like he knows how to write a play. It's just translating that to the movie screen. It's just always a problem.
It will always continue to be a problem for him, Mac. It will always continue to be a problem because it just Broadway and the big screen are two very, very different things. I think still for me, Mac, the best play turned to movie. Man, that'd be a good episode for us to do one day. Best play turned to movie.
I'd be down for that.
Fences, Denzel Washington.
That's actually a good one. I probably for me, I might say Rent. I think I've had a soft spot for Rent for years. I love Rent.
I can't stand that movie.
But that'll be a future topic. You just dropped our Marvel Easter egg. But Rod, man, what has been going on? How is everything going? How's the podcast going? How's the content making going?
All right, so podcast-wise, Ben and I are, of course, still going strong. That's my boy, my white brother from another mother. He is, that's my guy right there. Him and I have a episode coming out tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow at noon, we talk about why people need to go see Sinners in the theater, why you should be excited to see Doomsday, and also why you should be nervous to see Doomsday next year. Um, our thoughts on Mission Impossible. We haven't seen the movie yet, but just our anticipation for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, because him and I are that's something him and I have always bonded over was Mission Impossible. So we talk about our just anticipation for that. And a bunch of other topics. Ben, gives his thoughts on Andor season 2. I give my thoughts as well, but little spoiler here, he enjoyed the season more than I did. So there you go. I think the season was a bit overhyped, but yeah, it's a fun episode. Hope you guys go enjoy it. We're actually off next week. We're taking some time off next week, but we'll be back the week after with our full Mission Impossible breakdown. We started posting more again. We're starting to post, do some posts. I think we've had like 3 Thunderbolts posts in a row. So that will.
Yeah, I gotta say, I've been checking out your Thunderbolt. I have not seen it yet. I'm planning on
really.
Seeing it Wednesday. No,
okay.
I've been playing catch up. Like literally I think probably April was a really rough month to get to the movies for me because I was so busy, and I went to go see Sinners, which was fucking amazing. And then
Mac, can we just for a second?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, yeah.
All right. So Matt, make sure you time me here. I don't want to go off on my tangent, but
yep.
My 2 favorite films of the decade so far have been Spider-Man: No Way Home and Past Lives. Those have been for people who know me, I've been talking about those films probably the most of this decade on my podcast. Aside from, of course, Endgame, which is my favorite film of all time. But
don't forget Madam Web.
Oh, man, film of the century, man.
Yeah. Truly worth all the 5 stars.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's why I'm wearing her shirt right now. But, God, what a terrible movie. Sinners, man, I said this in the podcast too the other day when Ben and I were recording. It truly was a once in a lifetime experience. And what I mean by that is just we have been so consumed with IP, especially maybe maybe the past 10 years or so, Mac.
Yeah.
That, and also a part of that conversation is everyone has been wanting original films, but no one actually goes to see those original films. Well, here you have maybe one of the best directors, if not the best director working in Hollywood right now, Ryan Coogler, giving us an original film. And it is crushing it at the box office, critically and fan-wise. It has been received so well. And for myself personally, Mac, it's just, it has been a trend. I hate saying that word transcendent, but really, I don't want to sound corny when I say this, but it really has been like a life-changing experience for me seeing. I've seen it 4 times in theaters now.
Damn.
That's a low ball for me. 4 times. That's pretty low for myself, man. I'm slacking. But I actually said this to a person well, Zach. I don't really want to see this movie a lot in theaters because I want it to tarnish that experience that I've had. If that makes any sense, Mac.
Yeah, because
go ahead.
Because I gotta say, I probably waited a week or 2 to see Sinners, and I saw everyone rave it. Because even when the first trailers came out, I had a feeling like this movie might either be really, really good because they're not marketing it. They kept it very basic. And I think when we're used to in a day and age where trailers just give you everything about the film, but with Sinners, they kept it concise. They kept it quick. You only knew vampires, Michael B. Jordan's twins, music is involved. That's it. And
can I ask you a question, Mac? I want to ask you serious about the film. Because I've every time Ben and I talk about Sinners, I always bring up this point. Michael B. Jordan plays twins, and every time I watch it, I forget that he's playing twins. He's that great.
I said it in my review that he does a good job of playing 2 distinctly different twins. You can tell Smoke is the okay because
he's more of the business kind of straight arrow person. Yeah,
Smoke's the business oriented guy. You know that he's a very traumatized guy. Because they do bring up the fact that they are World War I vets, but you can tell he has a lot more baggage on him. And Stax is more of the crazy twin, but he's loyal to a fault.
He's loyal to a fault. The brothers have love for each other, even though they have different worldviews. And you see that when they open up their juke joint, how they want to approach bringing in customers.
Yeah.
With that scene at the bar, right? When the guy doesn't have enough to pay for a drink, So I love that scene. That's a perfect depiction of how the brothers see each other. This guy's, Smoke is all, hey man, this is business. We got to make money. And Stack's listen, man, this is the first time these people have felt free in God knows how long.
Mhm.
Let them enjoy the night.
There is a good theme about freedom in this movie a lot.
Oh, Mac. I don't want to make this a whole Sinner spoiler review.
Very
I
good.
kind of want to because because you and I haven't had a chance to talk about the movie yet, but yeah, this is just one of the reasons why I love this movie so much, Mac. Like I told Dennis the other day, and I said this on our recent podcast episode, like this will probably become my favorite film of the decade. I want to wait for this film to hit digital, make sure it still hits the same way as it did in theaters.
Yeah.
But
Very
I
horny
mean,
film.
Haley Steinfeld. I mean, but yeah, I mean, this is
Like that was the one meme I kept seeing. It's like Josh Allen's about to throw like 5,000 yards because he sees Haley Steinfeld in this movie, and so it was like now I know what Shamik Moore was crashing out over because it's
listen,
like
Haley
like, damn.
Steinfeld. This is probably like I Edge 17 is probably still her best performance she's ever given, but this is her most mature performance she's ever given for sure.
Yeah.
She is something else in this movie. I mean,
yeah.
You listen to the first couple of lines he says this movie, it's like, what the hell? What?
I think the wildest line, I'm going to repeat it on YouTube. I don't care. I'm going to try to censor it. Was when she went back inside and she went to Stacks and said, "You robbed trains, but you can't take this kitty cat for the night." I was like, what the fuck am I watching? And granted, you keep in mind, there was 2 kids in my showing. There was a kid behind me in a couple rows, and then there was this couple with their kids in the front row. Their kid was on their iPad with headphones and watching the movie. I'm like, listen, I know you want to see Sinner so bad. Get a sitter or wait for it to come on the home theater. Like, I'm so old head rant. I'm sick of kids in the movie theaters. Do not take your kids to a PG-13 or rated R movie. Unless you can't get a sitter, wait till it goes home. You should not be little kids should not be going and seeing Sinners. Also, kids should not. There was no one in the Final Destination screening. Don't take your kids to Final Destination. I could be wrong. If you're watching on the stream, thank you for watching. But let me know in the comments below. What do you think is the age that kids can go to the movies? Like, what's the age where you can start bringing them into movies like that?
I will tell you this, Mac, and I've thought about this a lot actually over the past year or so.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but this is just my belief. In the next 10 years, I think theaters were gonna start adopting a sort of daycare system where people who don't have sitters, they can bring their kids, and then that sitter system, whatever it's called, will take their kids to see. The sitter system will take the kids to see like a family friendly type movie while the adults go see their movie.
I think, yeah.
I think we're going to head down that path eventually because, listen, I mean, sitters are not cheap, you know?
That's true.
And listen, I don't have kids myself, but I can imagine that it's tough to get a sitter, and you don't want to pay extra money for a sitter, so you just want to take a kid, go see a movie. But you have to be mindful of others. Like, I went to go see Final Destination last night, and we had these freaking these aren't kids, but they were high schoolers, Mac. And my God, for the first like 10 to 15 minutes, they were not STFU. I was like, can you please just stop talking? Mac, I don't know. I feel like it happened post-COVID, but theater etiquette has gotten really, really.
Oh no, it's gotten worse. Like,
yes,
I've seen an uptick where people are on their phones more. They're just talking out loud. They're making like really like it was getting there with COVID, but it's been getting worse and worse. And this is why a lot of people aren't going to the movies nowadays. And personally, this is why I like going to the drive-ins a little bit more, because you can control your own environment with your car.
Right.
But like with the theaters, it's like you're paying $15 to be an asshole. Like, to go home and watch the movie. Like, what are you doing?
That's what I'm saying. And this theater I went to go see Final Destination, and it's one of my favorite AMCs. They used to all the time have ushers when they were playing an R-rated movie, because a film like Final Destination, you're gonna get the high schoolers trying to sneak in to go see it. I saw it happen firsthand yesterday. I'm like, I'm not gonna snitch on you guys or anything, but it's like, wow, God, I hope they just are quiet. And lo and behold, Mac, the people behind me just would not stop talking for like the first 15 minutes. Eventually, they did start to quiet down. But, a couple chairs over, they were kicking their seats, and you could feel the vibrations of them like kicking their seats. And I'm like, the theater etiquette has just gotten worse and worse these days, man.
Well, I'll kill a kid.
Well, I mean, yeah. So I don't know what to do about theater etiquette, but like, get back to what I was saying. It's just, we were talking about how to improve the the whole baby thing with bringing kids to seeing the taking your kids to see movies in theaters. I think the appropriate age is whenever you think your kids are mature enough, because all kids are different.
That's true.
So, when you think your kids are mature enough to handle going to the movies for 2 hours, 2+ hours, that's the thing. Because, you have to also keep in mind that if you go to a movie that starts at 7, it doesn't start at 7, it starts at 7:30, because you've got 20 minutes of previews and 10 minutes of theater ads, thinking of the sponsors, Coke, the own theater, M&Ms, popcorn. I mean, it's just like, it's a whole thing, Mac. It's so that's another thing I wish, I hope theaters change eventually too, Mac, is can we just stop? Can we, like, when the movie starts to, like, I'm going to see Mission Impossible next week at 6:00.
Yeah.
I hope it just starts at, I really want it to just start at 6 and not at 6:45.
That ain't happening.
It's not happening. However, I don't know if you know this, Mac, but they're doing a whole bunch of like 2 p.m. showings that Thursday. Like they're calling it the fan first screenings, right? So basically, you're the first ones to go. You're the first fans to go see Mission Impossible at 2 p.m. across the country. I don't know if it's just an AMC thing or not, but you go see Mission Impossible at 2 p.m. They're starting it at 2 p.m. So they're showing no previews. So they're going to probably do the AMC ads and then start the movie, which I love. That is awesome. I think more theaters should adopt that. But I was telling Ben, I was like, who's going to the movies at 2:00 on a Thursday? Like, what the hell?
Unemployed people and people skipping school.
Exactly. Now, technically, Mac, I could. I work for myself. However, I know myself. At 2 p.m. on a Thursday, I'm not going to be able to get away with that. So, I mean, 6 p.m. Thursday is good enough for me, but it's going to be 25 minutes of previews and then 10 minutes of AMC ads and the whole IMAX countdown thing, which I can't stand. Matt, we've gone off on a tangent, but this live stream started like half an hour ago?
About like 20 minutes, yeah. But actually, speaking of advertising, this stream, it's a little promo going on. So why don't we cue that quick sponsor message real quick?
Hey, what's up, Ugly? Do you like free shipping? Do you like summer merch? Well, here's the Mac Movie Reviews Teespring store. Also, I'm just joking. You're not ugly. You're good looking.
I'm back on Teespring, and I'm doing a big sale for the summer. I got shirts, stickers, mugs, and every other apparel you'll need for that nice, hot Mac summer. And that doesn't sound weird at all, but buy my merch. It's pretty cool. If you go on Teespring, mmrteespring.com, link in the description below, you'll see all my new apparel, and I'm going to give you a hookup just because we're boys. So check this out. If you use promo code MMRSummer at checkout, you get free shipping until August 31st. You know how these shipping fees be getting you? They be trying to rob us all. I don't like that at all. But with this promo code, we're able to curbside that. So, you're welcome.
Sensational.
Use my promo code MMRSummer at checkout at mmrteespring.com. Link in the description of the video. The sale will be going on until August 31st. Rep your boy. If you buy something, I'll post it on Instagram if you tag me. So go wild. Go buy it. But here's the start of the video now. Buy the merch. Alright, later. Hey, so corporate chilling as well too. So that's the big announcement I wanted to do before we get into our content. I got a summer sale on my Teespring store. I'm back on Teespring. Rod, we got mugs, we got shirts, we got die cut stickers. The possibilities are endless, man. And link in the description to my Teespring store. If you use promo code MMR Summer, you get free shipping on your entire order until August 31st. That is a steal. And I'm gonna go buy myself a mug as soon as these tariffs go down because. But that's why I'm doing free shipping. You saw CJ, he was pressed, he was scared. But remember, promo code MMR Summer, free shipping until 8/31. I will be going to, and as we got a fan, Audrey, she's excited. She's gonna get herself some merch as well too. And yep, promo code free shipping MMR Summer. We'll put this up near the end of the live stream. Yeah, so just pretty good stuff. Wanted to get that across, but Rod, it's time for the main event tonight. We are tier listing, and we're only doing 2 tier listings, and we are well prepared. We actually had a plan for this. We planned this over like a month ago.
We did plan this over a month ago. Then I will admit, I'm gonna admit here on the live that I had to reschedule. So because this was supposed to happen over a month ago.
Yeah,
but I think. Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
I didn't even end up seeing the movie because we're going to be talking about A24 films. We're going to rank them on our tier list. And the reason why I thought about this idea is because I think the last live stream we did, we mentioned A24 and Warfare was coming out. And then I texted you. I said, yo, let's do Warfare, you and me. And you were like, let's reschedule. I'm like, cool, that gives me more time to see it. I never ended up seeing it. I was like, shit. All
right, so I will be able to talk about Warfare because I have seen it. Man, you gotta see it, man.
I'm gonna try. I think it's on Amazon. I might rent it.
Honestly, okay. So here's the thing. So it is available for digital purchase, and it's one of those $24.99 buys, $9.99 rents. Mac, just pay the extra $5 and just buy it and just own it. Seriously, it's
just buy it.
Just buy it, man. Like the extra $5 just to own it. It's worth it. Seriously, for this movie, absolutely. Man, I'm gonna put myself off camera for 1 second. Just for 1 second. Be right back.
Oh, no problem. I'm just trying to make sure I get everything all set to go, and we might be. Please stop buffering. I would like to actually see if we get.
Okay, I was gonna say like it's buffering. It's buffering a little bit.
There we go. Okay, we got it. I need a new MacBook soon. Good God. All right. So let me go down.
Do it after
so we got married. I'll build my PC. But well, we are going to be, if I'm going to try and make sure that the connection is smooth, so I'm going to try to close some of these ads.
It's a little buffery for me, but not too bad.
Yeah, it's harder because I think this is like I'm running some stuff. Let me make sure I close some stuff out. Okie dokie. Let me go down a little bit. All right, perfect. So the only movie missing from this tier list, I'm gonna say, is probably gonna be Warfare. So shit. I was like, perfect, because the other list is like 200. I was like, I ain't doing 200 damn movies.
Well, I was gonna say this is clearly not all the A24 films. I'm actually
I figured. I figured we keep the ones, I guess the more well-known ones, just for the sake of time.
Yeah, there's a couple I can see that I haven't seen. Like I still haven't seen. I think I saw Dream Scenario on there. Yeah, not Dream Scenario. The one next to Civil War, Problemista, and I still haven't seen Sing Sing yet. So yeah, I see a couple on here that I haven't seen, but the majority of these I have seen on here. So we'll be good. I'll be good.
Okay, perfect. So what we have our tier list. We got the rankings of peak, really good, okay, and then meh. So we may piss some people off because A24 has a very strong fan base.
Can I just say something real quick back before we start too?
What's up?
I think that A24 has given us some really, really fantastic films.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, because A24, oh wait, they have one Best Picture for
yes.
Everything
Everywhere all at once, yeah.
Yep. That's the only film, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, it's the only film that's won Best Picture so far. I believe within this decade here, back in the 2020s, they're probably going to win at least one more. Would you say that?
That's if Neon doesn't take their spot.
Listen, Neon's coming for him, Mac. They are coming for him because Neon's producing some really, really quality stuff. Because Nora won Best Picture last year, and that was a Neon film. So
yep.
And I'm not even the biggest Nora fan. I thought that film was good, not great. So, and then Parasite, right? Parasite was also Neon.
Yeah, actually, it was.
Yeah. So, Mac, actually, Neon isn't coming. They've arrived already. They are here.
That's true. Jesus Christ. But for now, we got A24 we're dealing with. Maybe we'll add Neon next time. But the first film we got is A Ghost Story. Now, I remember when this trailer came out, it felt like it wasn't like a horror movie. It felt more of like a character study about trauma. Did you ever see Ghost Story?
I have seen a Ghost Story. Yep.
What did you? I don't have an opinion on this. I did not watch it.
From the trailers, I didn't really think much of it, Mac. I didn't really have much anticipation for it. So I did, I have seen it. I've only seen it once, and I thought it was okay. I thought the performances
Nothing.
were good, but like it didn't do anything for me emotionally. So I would put it in the okay. I can't say meh because I thought the performances were pretty outstanding. So I would say it's okay.
Okay, we'll put it okay. I'll take your word for that. I just remember that they kept playing that same trailer when it was just like the ghost running around the house in the window, and I was like, I have no idea what this movie was. I think that was my first interaction with A24. To be honest with you,
Nice.
next one we have Green Room.
This was one of my first, actually, Max. Speaking of first interactions with A24, this is one of my first. I don't know if it was the first, but one of my first was Green Room.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of let down. I don't
really.
I don't like this film as much as everybody else does. To me, this film was kind of forgettable. So for me, this will be a meh. I'm like, I really, Mac. I'm like, maybe I need to give it another chance. Maybe when I watched it, I wasn't really appreciating A24 at the time, and I was like, kind of. But yeah, I'm kind of with Green Room right now. Or not Green Room. Yeah, Green Room. Yeah.
I didn't watch it, but I've always heard that it's like a very good film, and people says like one of Patrick Stewart's like best performances. And I was just like, it just wasn't a film where I'm like, I have an urge to go watch it. And like, in your opinion, what made it meh for you? Was it just because it just didn't scratch that itch for you?
Yeah, to me, Mac, it was just kind of I rented it and it was over. I was like, okay, I had a good time, and over time, it was over. I was like, okay, it's done. I think what's his face was in it? Wasn't Patrick Stewart in this, Mac?
Yeah, Patrick Stewart.
Yep. Yeah. So I was like, oh look, Charles is here. All right, hey Charles. Bye, Charles. So yeah. To me, this film was it's whatever. I don't really care.
We'll put it in meh for now, but that's because I haven't seen it and I don't have an opinion on it, so you're gonna be my guide for some of these. Let us go in to the next film, mid-90s, the directorial debut of Jonah Hill. So this film I did see and I absolutely loved it. I love skater culture. I think that the best skate movie we've ever gotten was Johnny Capahala Back on Board, and I Will Die by the Hill. Shout out to the Disney Channel kids. But mid-90s was like, I was curious because I wanted to see what Jonah Hill would bring as a director, and he really gave us a great vibe with this film. Like, this film was a whole ass vibe. Like, I love mid-90s.
So I was late to the party with mid-90s, but I did finally see it, and I have to say, I agree with everything Mac just said. This film was a vibe. I really, 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 really did enjoy this movie. So yeah, I'm gonna say really good for this movie, Mac. I quite enjoyed it. I'm okay with you if you put it at peak. Honestly, it's a really good movie. And this is Jonah Hill's directorial debut, right?
Yeah, this was his first film that he directed because he kind of was trying to take that backseat role, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's Jonah Hill," and I was like, "That's probably gonna be a comedy," but it's like it does like it's a vibe and actually like tugs at your emotions a little bit. Like, holy shit!
Yep.
And the soundtrack, I will put it in peak because I also say I have the soundtrack saved on my Spotify. Good mixture of this shit. I love mid-90s, so we'll put it at peak. Here's a controversial one. The Green Knight.
I have a lot of thoughts on The Green Knight because Matt, can we both agree the trailers were incredible for this movie?
Oh yeah, they promoted the hell out of this movie. I never thought I was gonna go and see it, but I was like, I know Kristen was probably gonna go see it, and I knew other people, but I was just like, whatever.
So I loved everything until the end. The ending, Mac, I was so pissed. I was so freaking pissed. But then, it's like it's the typical A24 ending of you kind of have to choose your own adventure of how it actually ends. But Mac,
Choose your own adventure. That's nice.
The best thing about this movie, aside from the visuals, is Dev Patel. Dev Patel, performance-wise, was fantastic. I think there's a lot of it. There's a lot of no, I was gonna say that wrong. It's paced. I thought it was actually paced pretty well, Mac, for the story that we're telling here. I just the outcome of it, I was pretty disappointed by. So yeah, I mean, I get what the last 10 minutes or so is supposed to mean, but for me, yeah, I would. I own it on 4K, Mac. I'll go downstairs and get my 4K copy of this movie, but it is
Oh shit.
yeah, I'll go get it. But I'll put it really good. I can't say it's peak because the last 10, 15 minutes really pissed me off.
That is a common. So you want to say good?
I'll say good to really good. I'm good with either or.
Well, but it is good. I did hear that it did start off strong and it kind of tapered off a little. So, we'll go from that. I'm trying to figure out what this next movie is. What is this?
Can I say back too that when I saw this in theaters, it was definitely with the film a bunch of casual film goers, and they were like, "What the hell did we just watch?" Like y'all clearly haven't seen A24 films before.
It is funny with A24 when the trailers play and you see how people will respond if they have no idea what's going on. I'm trying to figure out what this close that. Get out of here.
I love the site because of all the
the ads.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because of all the ads. It gives you so many ads, Mac.
I can't fucking see. Like, god dang. All right. I just wanted to make sure that the next one, I could not see. All right. So the next one we have is I think it's Art in the Shell. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Marcel the Shell, the shoes on. Yep.
Marcel. So now this one was it was really interesting because not in a bad way, just like definitely if I were to show someone their first A24 film, I'd probably show them this because it's the most tame. But I love this movie, not only because Art is fucking adorable, but it's the way that they play it straight, that a sentient seashell is walking around with shoes. They just play it completely straight. Like, they do a good job of blending it of like if this really happened. Because if that really happened, I'd be terrified. Like a damn seashell talking to me. And but it was very cute. Like, it's a very warm movie, and it's very tame for an A24 film.
So you and Ben would get along very well because Ben loves this movie. I'm on the camp of I really enjoyed it. I'm not really loved it. So I for me, Mac, it'd be really good. I had a really good time with it. I just struggled to say I could rewatch it. You
feel like it's a one time watch for you?
I wouldn't say that. I would definitely watch it again. It would take a lot for me. That's also harsh. But I guess I would have to be in the right mood. But it doesn't make a lot of sense because it's not like it's a depressing movie or anything. But maybe I was just expecting more from it, and I didn't get that more. I was just like, okay, yeah, I still had a really good time, and there were some good emotional moments. But overall, Mac, I just can't say it was peak.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair enough.
Now, this next film, here we go.
Now, this is a film that is truly peak, and I don't care. I do not care because there was an argument that Ari Aster, his Hereditary, we'll get to that where that goes, but his follow-up film, Midsummer, I was like, bet. Like, all right, I saw it in theaters. Fucking loved it. I saw this like 2 years after I started reviewing movies, and I loved it. And then everyone I talked to, they either hate it, love it, or they have not watched it. It's always those three camps.
So I'm on the camp, Mac, in which I absolutely 1000% love this movie. I have the 3-hour director's cut downstairs. I actually, Mac, I might go get that now just to show you the 3-hour. That's the case of it. But this is one of this to me, Mac, for a while was maybe my favorite horror film of all time. I've loved every second of this movie. Now, for people who don't know who are watching Mac, either watching live or watching after, Mac knows this very well. I'm a diehard MCU fan, and this opened the same day as Spider-Man: Far From Home.
That's right.
I saw this before Spider-Man: Far From Home. I remember because
Really?
I was
Oh,
on
wow.
vacation in New York, and I saw this, Mac, before Spider-Man: Far From Home. Part of the reason why was because a lot of Spider-Man: Far From Home showings were sold the fuck out. But no, I did want to. I was really, really interested in seeing this movie, Max. So I went to go see Midsommar, and that was one of the most interesting theater experiences because the last half of this movie is so
Bad
it's
shit.
so weird. It's bad shit. It's weird. There is a scene with Jack Rayner where he goes inside he sees something and partakes in something that I don't think he was ready for. And I don't think my audience was ready for because everyone was kind of giggling and laughing about it. I don't know if Mac, if you and I know think about the same scene, but it
think
was
I am.
okay. But yeah, Florence Pugh. This was my Florence Pugh coming out party here, Mac.
I was gonna say,
This
yeah.
this was the Florence because this was I think my first actual Florence Pugh movie I saw, and Mac, she was immaculate. She was incredible in this movie.
This was probably the movie that got her to be Yelena in MCU.
I agree, 1000%. She was fantastic, and actually, I think the director's cut helps because there's some more argument scenes between her and the boyfriend, and I think it kind of helps the overall story. And there's another ritual scene, which but yeah, Midsommar, Mac, it's a horror classic. It's not my favorite horror film now, but it's still amongst my top 50 films of all time. It is one of the best horror films ever made. Seriously.
Hell yeah to that, my brother. Hell yeah to that. So next movie we got is Talk to Me, James. That's all I think about. I think about the R. Kelly chapter. It's like, talk to me, James. So fun fact, did not realize the directors was Danny and Michael I think that's how they pronounce the name, but I didn't realize they were YouTubers because I used to watch their videos all the time. I watched the Kid versus WWE birthday party, and I'm like, holy shit, these guys did a horror movie. That's pretty cool. And I remember when this came out, I was like, well, YouTubers making a horror movie, low budget, probably good. And turns out it was like, no, holy shit, this is really good. Like, oh my God. And it actually, horror movies tend to stick with me if I really enjoy them. I think that Talk to Me stuck with me for about 2 months.
Okay.
And I don't think it's peak. I think that it's good to really good.
I'm on your camp now. I will say if I hadn't rewatched the movie, I would have said it was peak because that theater experience was something else.
Oh, really?
Because I saw it with a buddy of mine, and him and I were both kind of traumatized walking out of the movie theater. However, I have rewatched it, and I didn't have that same feeling or experience. So I'm between good to really good also. I think the characters are great. I think the performances are great. I think the vibe and the atmosphere is great. Mac, my favorite scene, one of my favorite all-time horror scenes is in this movie when they're acting like high schoolers doing, partaking it with the drug or the hand.
Yeah.
That's because that's what high schoolers would do.
Yeah, I'm like, holy shit.
Yes, they're doing the thing that high schoolers are doing. And not to say that I did. I will not confirm whether I did or did not partake in stuff in high school, but that's exactly how high schoolers would be, Mac, is how they were acting in that sequence. And the music and the beat and all that stuff, it added to the overall experience. It's a good movie. I'm excited for their follow-up in a couple of weeks. What is it? Bring Her Back or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Bring Her Back. Okay, I'll put it We'll put it at really good.
Yeah, I think that's a good place for it.
Next up, we have The Witch, which is the first film out of Robert Eggers. And it was the film that really helped introduce Anya Taylor-Joy to modern audiences. This came out in 2016. I kind of want to do a live stream talking about 2016 the film because 2016 was such a weird experimental year. We got a lot of reboots, legacy sequels, experimental kind of weird movies, and The Witch was one of them. I think The Witch is amazing. I think it's one of his best films. I know people feel very strongly about it. Like there's people who genuinely hate it and they think it sucks. I think it's good, and I think it's doesn't get the love that a lot of the other A24 films get.
Oh, sorry, man. I fell asleep there.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I didn't realize. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, this guy's asleep. What do you think you are?
All right, so to me, this film's okay. I can't say it's max. I thought Anya Taylor-Joy was fantastic, and the atmosphere was great. But this is a very forgettable film for me, Mac. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. I am sorry. This is not Robert Eggers' best. His best is Papa the Northman.
You think the Northman? You don't. What about Nosferatu?
Who?
Nosferatu.
Who?
Nosferatu.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you because I was falling asleep again.
Nosferatu. Oh wow! Damn. How do you say something so controversial but yet so brave?
I listen. I'm not afraid to say my opinion. Actually, his best film we are going to talk about in a little bit. But yeah, his Nosferatu Mac didn't work for me either. I thought it was great performance wise, but yeah, this was just that was just too much of a slow burn. I think after Nicholas Hoult visits the castle for the first time, I was checked out.
Yeah, he couldn't please her like he did.
No. No. Oh no.
These movies are getting incredibly horny. I don't even know what's going on.
Wow.
Next film, we got Lady Bird, which is Greta Gerwig, who later go on to do Barbie. I've seen bits and pieces of it. The one scene I've seen the most is when she jumps out of the car when her mom was talking to her. That's like the one scene I've seen over and over again. But honestly, I have no idea what this movie's about. What is this movie about?
I don't know. No, it's a coming of age film.
Okay.
Yeah, Mac. That's it's a coming of age film, and this is my first experience with Greta Gerwig. And was this her directorial debut?
I think so.
I mean, it's one hell of a directorial debut, and a lot of credit goes to Saoirse Ronan because she knocks it out of the park in this. And the girl from not the Notebook, Booksmart is also in this.
It's just
Beanie Feldstein. Yeah. She's great in this too. The Chalamet's in this also. So yeah, I love Lady Bird. This is a great. This is definitely my top 28 24 films. I love this movie. So yeah, this is peak. Now, Mac, I don't want to give anything away, but you see that film after Dream Scenario. I know you're just gonna go ahead and give me that film. Let me talk about it the entire time, right?
What's that? Is that Florida Project?
Yes, sir. You know damn well what it is.
We'll get to that soon. Next up, we actually have Ari Aster's directorial debut, and that's Hereditary.
Oh, am I going? Oh, yeah. So real quick, for me, it was a movie I liked more on rewatch. First time I watched it, Mac, I didn't really understand the hype for it. I was like, this is fine. Second viewing, actually having joined Filmstagram and hearing other people's opinions about it, enhanced my experience, and because of getting different people's opinions on it and hearing their views on it, and then watching it again, I was like, yeah, okay, this is fantastic. Now, the one thing I will agree on both rewatches or on both viewings was Toni Collette was snubbed of a
Snob.
best
She was.
yeah, a best actress nomination. She should have been nominated back for best actress.
No, I agree. The fact that she put in like the performance of her. This pretty much like revived her. Like not revived. I guess launched like a renaissance of her career.
Absolutely, 1000%.
But I'll put it in. I feel like I like Midsommar a lot better, but I'll still put it in really good.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at in like the really good category.
But Rod, I moved it up for you.
Yes,
The Florida Project. So I have not seen the Florida Project. I've heard good things about it. I'd like to watch it. So this will be yours, buddy. You take it away.
So I want to take people back in time, okay? Because I actually, man, this came out in 2017.
God.
Yeah, I didn't see this film until 20. This was a COVID watch for me.
Mm.
And I didn't know what to expect, but I just heard all these great things. And of course, I love Willem Dafoe. So I was like, all right, here we go. So I pulled up my Instagram review. I did a review for it. Oh, y'all can't see it because my screen's bright as hell. But I did a review for it on my Instagram. There you go, right there, Florida Project. All right,
Nice.
there you go. Because I really didn't know what I was getting myself into with the Florida Project. I just heard really great things, and Willem Dafoe. Did he win the Oscar for this?
I don't remember actually. Hold up, let me see on my phone right here. The Florida Project. Let's look at the accolades, reception. This is the Florida Project. I don't think he won.
He got nominated though, for sure.
But he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Okay, so I will say this about the Florida Project: it's a masterpiece. So you can go ahead and put it at peak. But
Okay.
I did not expect to love this movie as much as I did. It is basically a coming of age story revolved around kids and like at the ages of like 11 and 12. They're staying at the shady motel. Their parents are all kind of working these low-level jobs, but it's just being around these kids and seeing them get in certain situations, was the most endearing and like heartwarming part about this movie. If that makes any sense, Matt, like just being around these kids, kind of seeing their parent, their guardians kind of struggle in the real world, but with their jobs. I mean, one of the kids' parents is working at a Waffle House while living in this motel. Another one's basically a sex worker.
Jesus.
And Willem Dafoe knows it, but it's kind of the likeness of being around these kids that's so, it makes this film so special. And then I don't want to get into like into the weeds and bring up spoilers, but it gets heavy in the last half. It gets really, and even before that, like there's a scene involving a pedophile, and it's really creepy. And it's it might be one of Willem Dafoe's most well acted scenes of his entire career, because of how he handled that certain situation. And yeah, these kids are just so great to be around. I don't mean to sound creepy when I say that, Matt, but like the kids are just it's so well acted.
Yeah.
By the entire ensemble, and by the end of like the ending, I get why people may or may not like it, because the ending Mac is kind of a bit campy or cheesy in terms of how it's executed. But I thought it fit well with the tone of just kind of how the kids were acting the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I can go on and on about the Florida Project, but I'll just leave it at it's a very heartwarming, endearing, emotional experience that I don't think I'll ever get again. I hate saying that kind of word, but it was, yeah, it's one of those experiences, Mac, where I hope you do watch it soon, because it's a really, really strong emotional film. It's right now, Mac, in terms of my A24 hierarchy, it's in my top 5. Where am my top 5? Maybe 2 or 3. I still have Midsommar and We Live in Time ahead of it, but yeah, this is a strong film.
Okay.
And this is also Sean Baker. So.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Later go on to be doing Nora for Neon.
Yep. So I'm sorry for going over, Mac, but yeah, that those are my quick
No,
thoughts.
you're good. You could know I like the dialogue with it. I was genuinely curious about, like, I've heard great things before the project, and that is on my watch list to watch. So next up we have Saint Maud. I did not see this one either.
I've seen it once, and I'm never gonna watch it again. Put it in meh. I don't care for this one at all. This one was dull as hell.
It did not do anything for me with the trailer. That's why I didn't really have a strong urge to go see it. But next up we have is La La Land. I mean Moonlight.
Oh, I knew you were gonna do it. I was like, I wonder if he's gonna do it. I wonder if he's gonna say he did it.
For the people who may not remember, during the Oscars of 2017 for 2016, La La Land was sweeping up everything. But Moonlight was making ground. It was doing well with, I believe it won Best Supporting Actor. Did Mahershala get this for Moonlight? Or no, it was Green Book. I'm wrong with film. But Moonlight was nominated. Everyone's like, well, it's Barry Jenkins. He would later go on to do Lion King to varying success degrees. But it's nice, it's pretty much a biographical tale about his life. Introduced us to Javante Rhodes, who's a good actor as well. But there's no way everyone knew that La La Land was just gonna sweep up everything. And when the Oscars read it, they said, La La Land, you won Best Picture. And the cast and crew went up. The director's like, hey, I'm dedicating this to my friend. And about 5 minutes later, they come back out and says, yeah, no, we lost. And the people's like, no, Moonlight, you guys won. We're not joking. You actually won. They messed up and read the wrong card. So Moonlight was the shocking winner of the Oscars. And to be honest with you, I would not have it any way because I love Moonlight. It made me cry.
I love Acts 1 and 2 of Moonlight. I think Act 3 Mac kind of drags.
No, I agree.
But I think it's one of the best. It's one of the most well-acted films of the 2010s for sure. I think that's the strongest element of this film. I mean, Mahershala Ali isn't about 10 minutes of this movie, Mac, and he kills it. So
yeah.
I mean he won an Oscar for this. Naomi Harris. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
How great is she in this movie?
She's amazing.
I mean, her conversation with adult Chiron. Oh, yeah. There's some good back and forth here in this movie. Yeah, performances are the strongest part. Act 2 is my favorite, Mac, just because I feel like it's the most relatable of the three acts for sure.
I agree.
And there's a certain character who gets what's coming to him, and I loved it, even though it's wrong in every sense of the word. It's wrong, but I kind of loved it at the same time, Mac. I was like, yes, but also like, I think you know what I'm talking about. So
yeah, it's made the rounds on TikTok.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Moonlight's great. This is Barry Jenkins, Mac, should have. I mean, I'll go ahead and say I think he'll have more than 3 Oscars on his mantle when it's all said and done.
Oh no, I agree. Just get past the Lion King, buddy. You'll be good.
Hey, Mufasa is great. I will defend Mufasa. Mufasa is a great movie.
Well, you and the 6 other Mufasa fans, you have fun with that.
That's right.
The next film we got, a personal favorite of mine, The Whale. I am a Brendan Fraser fan from The Mummy. I even like Furry Vengeance and Looney Tunes back in action. And don't forget, Encino Man back in the day. This was Brendan Fraser's comeback after a lot of personal setbacks in his career and a lot of professional as well too. And he transformed himself for this role. And like, if you told me 10 years ago that he would be in a Darren Aronofsky film and win Best Actor, I would have told you you're crazy. But he delivered a powerful performance and he gave it his all. And he's back in that limelight of Hollywood, and it makes it so much better that he can call himself like the Oscar-winning actor, Brendan Fraser. And I absolutely love The Whale?
The Whale is all the performance. The film overall, Mac, I kind of lukewarm on, but Brendan Fraser and the person taking care of him. What's her name?
Mhm.
Is it Hung? What's her name, Mac? I don't want to mispronounce her name.
'Cause she was in the Menu too.
Yes, and she was. Oh my god, she was great in the Menu.
Let me just make sure we get her name right. The
Yeah,
Whale
I'm gonna
movie.
make sure I don't want to butcher her name.
It is because I think it's his daughter, right?
No, that's
Oh, Sadie
Sadie
Sink.
Sink. Yeah,
Oh, Hong Chow.
yeah. Hong Chow is fantastic in Miss Mac. Loved her, and I loved her performance or her chemistry with Brendan Fraser. And Sadie Sink plays a very unlikable person, but I understand where she's coming from. So, yeah, the Whale is good to really good. I'll leave it up because you like this more than I do. I thought it was just all performance driven, so I'll leave it
I
up to
will
you.
say the ending was a little bit ambiguous, but you can kind of tell where it was going a little bit. So it may
I
have
thought
been
it
a
was
little.
I thought it was pretty clear, Mac, that it was what happens at the end.
Oh yeah, you know, they live
Yeah.
happily ever after. So I'll put it in really good. I'll put it in really good for now. But next up is a film, and you know I'm a big wrestling fan, The Iron Claw.
You go first, then. You go first.
So, if you don't know about wrestling or if you know about tragedies, the Von Erich family, a very big wrestling family in WCCW in Texas in the 70s and 80s. Their dad, Fritz Von Erich, and then there was Kevin, Kerry, Mike, and David Von Erich. And there's Chris Von Erich, but I'll get to why I'm not going to put it in peak. But they made this movie just kind of going about the tragedy because everyone in the family except for Kevin is the sole survivor because his brothers passed away due to tragic circumstances. David Von Erich, I think he had an infection in his pancreas. Mike Von Erich too. Mike Von Erich committed suicide. Carrie Von Erich as well, and Chris Von Erich committed suicide as well too. And it's just tragedy after tragedy that affects his whole family. So when they were making a movie, I knew that they were going to hit hard, and they casted Zac Efron as Kevin, Jeremy Allen White as Kerry Von Erich, which I know people were a little bit iffy about because if you look at Jeremy Allen White and Kerry Von Erich, they don't look the same. But this movie was genuinely like really good. Zac Efron gave the performance of his career. I think that this is his strongest role. There's a lot to this film that has a lot of heart, but I can't put it in peak because they cut a lot of stuff out. Particularly, they cut out Chris Von Erich, who was the youngest brother that they have. They just cut him out completely of the movie. They said, well, there wasn't time to tell a story. I'm like, to tell a story of Von Erich, you have to include every single Von Erich. And I'm like, I didn't like that they cut that out.
So, me not knowing a lot about the story of them, Mac, it really kind of hit me emotionally. So I actually have this at peak. I think this is one of the 10 greatest sports films ever made. Uh, from a performance standpoint, from an emotional standpoint, it really hit me. And there's a scene at the very end where a character is with his kids, and I lost it, Mac. I lost it because there's that vision of, yeah, there's a
It
this
hits
character
hard
has
when you,
yeah. There's a scene where a character has a vision, and it really hits, man. It really did hit, especially when you kind of go through this journey that they've been on. It is one of the most powerful sports films ever made. I'm not going to say it's my favorite. My favorite sports film ever made is still and always will be Remember the Titans, but this is right up there. It is a powerful, powerful film. I compare it to something like Rush, Mac. I didn't expect Rush to be as great as it is, because I thought Chris Hemsworth and Daniel Brewer were fantastic, but like this entire ensemble is fantastic. And like you said, Zac Efron, Mac. Oh my god, who knew he had that in him, Mac?
yeah.
My God, High School Musical kid had that in him. Should have been
It's
nominated
that
for an
it's,
Academy Award.
I say it is the High School Musical, and then there's that Neighbors training in them.
Hmm. So yeah, I would say it's peak, but I'll go wherever you think you should go, Mac. Here's
See, I really want to say peak. Like, I really, really want to say peak, but it's just the fact of like you cut out a real person and to tell that part of the
Right.
story, and I just feel like I'll do really good. I just feel like that cutting that piece out was very like you can tell the whole story with that, but to each his own. Next up, we got Ex Machina, which people who don't know who A24 film, they've seen this film and they did not know is A24. This movie was man, I'm gonna say this. I like the movie. I hate the ending.
I like the movie as well overall. The ending I'm kind of like whatever on because it was kind of expected for me at least. So I I'll say it's good. I think it's a little overhyped, Mac, if you ask me. I don't know if this is Alex Garland's best film, to be honest
No,
with you. We're actually going to talk about that a little bit later. Well, actually, no, we're not because it's not even on this list. But it's a good movie. It's a good movie. Like I can't say it's okay or meh because visually it's really stunning. Acting wise, it's fantastic. So yeah, it's a good movie.
okay. So next up, we got Dream Scenario with my boy Nicolas Cage.
I'll be quick with this. This is all Nicolas Cage. If it wasn't for Nicolas Cage, this movie would be just meh. This is all Nicolas Cage.
I was excited because he was coming off Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and they're like, let's make a movie where everyone dreams about you, which I do every night. So it's reflective of my life. So next up, we got actually a personal favorite of mine, and that is The Lobster with Colin Farrell. Truly, I feel like this film and Everything Everywhere All at Once shows how weird A24 can get.
I agree. I don't love this as much as maybe other people do. I think it's a good movie, but I mean, this is your. I think no, this was not my first Yorgos movie, was it? It might have
I
been.
like the dark humor in it.
Yes, agreed. So I will say this is a. Yeah, I'll say it's good. It's a good movie.
I'll put it as good. I'm trying to figure out what is this? Is this the Tower of Silence or Town of Silence? Town of Silence. Which one was that? Oh, I know what that one is. I think that's the movie where it was inspired by a true story of a guy that died after having sex with a horse.
I'm sorry. What?
So if that's the movie, hold up. Is that the same movie? The Town. If this is the same, because I literally was reading about this of Silence. Silence. Or Tower of Silence. This is a movie. Movie A24. That's not it. Or is it a place called Silence? I think it's a place called Silence. I really cannot see that. Hold up. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was so Zone of Interest. I really could not see. I'm sorry for the Zone of Interest fans. This was the film that was nominated in 2023. Got a lot of great reviews. Did you see Zone of Interest?
No, but I know my mom has because I think she watched it on a plane, or no, she watched it at home. She told me about it afterwards. She said she liked it, but she would never watch it again. So she called it oh Mac, what's that movie? She called it something light. Oh, she called it Schindler's List light. So
I didn't. It just
I
didn't interest me.
I haven't seen it. I don't know if I don't know if I'm going to. It's so I'll go based off what you say.
Yeah. The next movie we have is The Farewell.
I have seen this. This is one of my favorite films of 2019. Probably in my top 5 or 6 2019. So I would say this is peak for me. I love this movie. I thought Aquafina was terrific. I thought the family dynamic was fantastic. There's emotion there. The dynamic between Aquafina's character and the grandma's amazing and beautiful. Everything about the farewells. It's heartwarming. It's touching. It's emotional. Yeah, farewells amazing, fantastic. Mac, you gotta watch it.
Okay. How about Lamb?
Boring as hell. It's meh.
From the poster, it looks boring as hell.
Mac, if it wasn't for the last 5 minutes, I would have called this one of the worst films ever made. But the last 5 minutes kind of, I was like, oh, why wasn't this in the entire movie? This would have been great. But instead, we got this drag of a film that's just, oh, God. But anyway, go ahead.
Next up, we have Waves.
Matt, all right, so Matt, answer me this. Can you remind me of a film that has such a strong first act and then the second act you just want to take a nap? That is Waves.
Damn.
That is Waves.
I don't even know what this is. It about surfing or something?
No, it has nothing to do with surfing at all. It's about a family. Its main stars are Sterling K. Brown and I want to say Kelvin Harrison Jr. This film came out in 2018, 19. I want to say, but I think it was 19 actually. But basically, it's a tale of two halves. The first half is around Kelvin Harrison's character, and the second half is his sister's character. The sister's name is drawing a blank right now. She was in those escape room movies.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, you know. Okay, so yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But it's basically a tale of two children, and the first half takes it's centered around Kelvin Harrison's character, and the second half is around escape room girl. I can't think of her name right now. But Kelvin Harrison Jr., he's like this wrestling star, has all this pressure on him because his dad thinks very highly of him, and has all his expectations, and the mom is very, I wouldn't say hard on him. Also, she's very much more warming and comforting, and I related that to that Mac because I want to say I have a very similar situation to his character.
You're a wrestler?
No, but just in terms of. My dad was hard on me. My mom was always kind of the soft spot, I guess, Mac, you want to say. Because I am a mama's boy. So I was always kind of, going to my mom for stuff and, leaning to my dad for other stuff. So, yeah, my dad was always kind of the hard one. And so I relate to that film on that kind of level. But the second half kind of is a drag in terms of the stuff. And it has nothing to do with the character of escape room girl. Oh, Taylor Russell.
Oh, damn, that's her name.
Yeah. So nothing against her, but it's like everything around her because she forms this relationship with oh god damn it. The guy from Boy Misunderstood. What's that movie called with Nicole Kidman?
Oh,
Lucas Hedges. Yeah, I think that's his name. So she forms a relationship with him. It's the second half's just flat and dull. So it really is a tale of two halves, Mac. We spent a long time talking about Waves, and I believe, Mac, if I'm not mistaken, this is the same guy who made the movie that's out this weekend, Hurry Up Tomorrow. So, I had interest in, but then this film has like a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I actually canceled my tickets yesterday. Mac, this was actually the movie I was supposed to see because remember I told you I was going to see a movie before this live stream. I was supposed to be watching this before the live stream. Yeah, I canceled my tickets. I was like, I'm gonna stay at home and
Kristen
watch something else.
watched it and she hated it.
She hates it, right? Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
so because I saw her Instagram story. And I was, she does not like this movie. So
And the Rotten Tomato score actually went up because when I woke up for work, it was at 0%, so it went up.
what's it, to 15?
Yeah,
But the funny thing is, the audience score is very high. It's like a 74 or something like that. So
it's the weekend stands.
that's what it is. The weekend stands who will just appreciate anything he does.
Abel should be
So,
ashamed of himself.
I mean, I've seen the clip. Zach sent me a clip of his acting, and I was like, oh God. And I had watched maybe 2 episodes of The Idol, and I oh my God, Mac, it was what a terrible show. I mean, it was trying so hard to be like Euphoria.
Oh, I watched every single episode.
Mac, all right, so you watched everything. Tell me it wasn't trying to be Euphoria. Seriously.
Oh, it was trying to be Euphoria, but artsy, more artsy.
And Euphoria is already artsy. That's the thing. So I don't
like the thing about it, which was so bad, is that the weekend's acting was so terrible. Of like when you learn just the history of what the show was originally going to be about, how the original showrunner left and they brought in Sam Levinson, you can really tell like the vision got butchered greatly.
I want to ask you this, Mac. Okay, so have you watched Euphoria?
I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I don't like it. I think it's very overrated.
Okay, so I am one of the stands you should say of the show. So I would actually love to do an episode with you either on here or my podcast, our podcast on Euphoria, because I do think the show is quite great, especially from its cast. I mean, I think the cast they're unreal. Like the performances they give in the show, Mac, I think it's better than some of what like mature actors have given in some of their movies. Seriously. So I would love that. But of course, the first conversation we have to have is why Toy Story 4 isn't necessary. But that's just me.
Well,
so.
We'll get back to that. Next movie we got is Come On, Come On.
So, Matt, this is one of those movies where I fell for the hype, and I didn't love it as much as other people did, but I will still say it's great. So I'll say it's good to really good. It's Joaquin Phoenix and the kid have such great chemistry. I think the black and white actually threw me off, Mac. I'm not going to lie.
Really? Were you not expecting that?
I don't think I was expecting it. Just I don't know why it had to be in black and white, if that makes any sense.
Art.
Yeah, well, you know what else is all art? The Hurry Up Tomorrow, and look how it's turned out. So,
Well, next movie we have is Swiss Army Man. God, I
had to take myself off mute. I was passing gas like Daniel Radcliffe.
This movie is so awkward to watch. Like, I feel so uncomfortable watching this movie.
But it's so good.
It's good, but I feel so. I don't want to watch this with anyone. This is my by myself movie, and that sounds even weirder. But
I'm gonna say it's good. It's in the good tier for me.
That was like one of the first roles he did. That like because Daniel Radcliffe's career now, he does a lot of like. I love it because he just says, I'll do whatever I want. Like, I love when he played Weird Al. Like, he's the only actor I know that play a corpse that is used as a Swiss Army man that farts. And his career is still got bigger after that.
He is one of those actors where, like you said, he can do whatever he wants. He was literally Harry Potter for the first half of his life. And I like now, Mac, how he is getting to do these different roles. So for him to do something like this, like something so obscure, I guess maybe, or just out there, I don't know. I found comfort in that, Mac, and just like he chose to do something that was out of the norm from him, and his relationship, quote unquote, with Paul Dano was so fascinating. Yeah, I'll say it's good. It's a good movie.
definitely be careful who you watch it with. That's all I'll say.
Yes, absolutely.
Next movie we got is Pearl.
My least, no. I can't say that. I don't know.
Were you gonna say least favorite of all three of the
The T.I. West trilogy,
yeah.
I don't know because I thought Maxine was actually more entertaining than this. And I know we're going to talk about Maxine, so I will say this is the best acted of the three films in the trilogy, even though a lot of that has to do with Mia Goth. But yeah, I mean, a lot of this Mac has to do this whole trilogy. A lot has to do with Mia Goth, Mac. I think you and I can both agree on that.
I feel like she carries this damn trilogy.
She does. And I think X is still the best just from an entertainment standpoint, even though it takes about 50 minutes to get going.
Yeah, oh my god.
It does take a minute for it to get, but once it gets going, it's really entertaining. But I did like its commentary on, porn and everything, and, sex workers. So from that standpoint, I will say X is still the best, but I think this is the best acted of the trilogy. Where I think Maxine kind of has like a bit of both. So I will say this is it's in between good and really good for me.
And where would you put Maxine?
Definitely the good category.
Okay. So I'd say we'll put Pearl above it because seeing the people talk about it, I've seen people that say they like Pearl. Maxine was a little bit disappointing to them, even though it's still good. That's what I've heard.
Yes. That's kind of been the consensus is like Maxine is good, but not as great as Pearl. Or not as entertaining as X. It's somewhere it's somewhere in the middle. So I feel bad for like knocking it because it's not a bad movie. It's just it's not as well acted as Pearl was, and it's not as entertaining as X was. So I don't know where like it's hard to put it. It's hard to kind of rank it or grade it. Now, grading wise, I'll probably give it like a B plus.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Next one we have, I think this is called The Sacred.
Yeah, The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Oh, Killing of a Sacred Deer. Okay, I did not see this. Did you see this?
Yep. Peak.
Shit. All right. This
is Yorgos Lanthimos at his top form. Love this movie. I'm also in Nicole Kidman stand, but yeah, this is great. Her and Colin Farrell are great. The mystery surrounding Barry Keoghan's character is magnificent, and I loved how haunting and disturbing this was, all down to the final frame. This is a magnificent movie. Yeah, Killing of a Sacred Deer. Peak.
Enemy.
Overrated hack. It's fine. It's okay to good. I don't really care.
It looks like Slender Man. I didn't watch it.
What we got next, Matt?
We got The Lighthouse, the second Robert Eggers movie that we
have.
It is peak. God, this movie is great. I know people like to meme the hell out of Willem Dafoe and everything, but this movie does a lot and says a lot with nothing. And that it makes it good. Here's another film that. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it all hinges on their performances, and they both knock out of the park. And that final frame, Mac, of Pattinson and birds. Oh my god,
perfect,
disturbing, perfect and disturbing. But yeah, go ahead.
Next up, my prank film, Uncut Gems.
Peak. Can I ask you this, Mac?
What's up?
Did you expect the ending? Because I did not.
No. So my dad and I saw this. Fun fact, it's awkward when a lady in the movie starts taking pictures of her lingerie and everything. Your dad's next to you, so that was fun. But I looking back at it, like at the time at the theater, no. But like when you look back at it, you're like, he kind of had it coming because he kept dicking around with the wrong people.
Yeah.
And like we can spoil it. He gets shot at. I'm saying like gets shot at the end because he locks the gangsters in like the.
He should have known once he locked his fate was sealed once he locked them in.
Yeah, and they were like all they wanted was just the money back. and he had the money to pay them back. He just chose to go gamble and go bigger.
Well, I mean, that's the theme throughout this movie is he doesn't know when to stop. He has a problem, and he never gets help for it. And you think he has that moment, Mac, where he has his come to Jesus moment, and he doesn't have it.
It's so annoying, especially too when and the thing is too, Kevin and I actually did a good job with his
Wasn't
role.
he great?
People said he was terrible. I'm like, no, he seems like he's just legit act. Because I remember I read they actually wanted Kobe to be that part.
Oh my God, Kobe would have been,
but they couldn't
awesome.
they wanted to make it like 2006. So then like they made the timeline be like 2012.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they made it towards. I think it was the Knicks or the Knicks, the Celtics last championship run.
They're like last run together before they ever got
Yep.
traded.
Yep. Correct. Yep.
But
So
he did a good job with it. And I think the performance is really good. And I know this is when a lot of people started to fall in love with Julia Fox.
oh my God. All right. So a little bit of behind the scenes stuff here. So every year, my sister and I have a tradition of seeing New Year's like on New Year's Eve. Her and I always go see a movie together.
Mhm.
And we started this tradition when I went to college. So it started in actually started in 2015, which was my sophomore year of college. So we started with The Force Awakens, but every year since we started doing this, tradition of going to see a New Year's, film on New Year's. So the year this movie came out, which was 2019, we saw Uncut Gems. We took our parents with us to go see it. Oh, Mac, I really wish we didn't do that.
Yeah.
I really wish. However, it was really fun kind of seeing their reactions to, like, how. Oh, well, we already spoiled it, didn't we? We already spoiled what happens to Howard. You already
Yeah,
spoiled
when he
that,
got
right?
shot.
Yeah. So yeah, when Howard gets shot, my dad and my mom were both like, "Oh my God!" So
Because it felt so abrupt.
yes.
And
And
like that's
go ahead.
Oh, that's the style of the Safdies I like because we didn't do the whole A24 list because we've been here to like midnight, so we kept it condensed. But Good Time, the scene where the guy fell from the building and it felt so abrupt and stuff like that. They have that style. I know that they don't do the movies together anymore, but they have that style of it feels realistic. So when he got out, he was like, "Hey, everything." He just pulled out the gun, shot, and that's usually how sometimes it just happens like that. It's just quick. And I was more shocked when they shot the other guy. He was freaking out.
Yeah, that was even more shocking.
I was
But
like,
at that point, they had been locked in, no air. I mean, they were sweating when they came out of that room, so they were fed up. They were done. So, but because the ending is left ambiguous, but you can kind of predict they got caught, and Julia Fox probably kept the money. Character probably kept the money to herself.
Idina Menzel and has no husband, and the kids have no dad.
Yeah, it's a dark ending. It really is.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that they close in on the shot of his gunshot of his bullet wound, and the credits all take place in like this this within like the bullet wound or astral plane. It's so weird. But that's a sad story for you.
Definitely a good film. It was overshadowed by Parasite though. So like once Parasite came out, it was just over.
Well, Mac, I want to text this to you also. Like, I would love to do a episode with you, Mac, just on like 2019 films because 2019 is my favorite year of movies. There were so many great movies that came out in 2019 that if Uncut Gems, Mac, were to have come out during the next year, 2020, Adam Sandler would probably have a Best Actor mantle at his house right now, and Uncut Gems might be a Best Picture winner.
Especially seeing how 2020 panned out, it would have
exactly. That's what I'm saying. If this film had just waited like another month, Mac, oh my goodness, we can be talking about Uncut Gems being a Best Picture winner. Seriously, because Nomadland is exactly.
It came out way too late, especially like you mentioned too. Like I did write down 2019 films. Like 2019 was so stacked. Like it came out so late, like in December. Like it was just no chance for the attraction because once it got the traction, it wasn't enough in time. to get the nominations.
Well, that and everyone, including us, we were still on our Parasite is fantastic. Words of Love for Jojo Rabbit. Endgame is the biggest film of all time. I mean, we were kind of just living in a moment of 2019. But Ford v Ferrari is, oh my God. Knives Out is, you got to go see Knives Out if you haven't seen Knives Out yet. I mean, we were living in a time of 2019.
Hit
yes,
after hit after
banger
hit.
after banger after banger, Mac. It was great. So
We need to, we got to do that. Shit,
we
all
do.
right, bet.
We do.
Next one we have is Minari.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw bits and pieces of it, but I've never finished it.
It's good. Well, beautifully acted. That's about it. So yeah, I would say it's good.
Men. A lot of controversy. I have not seen this. Kristen saw it and she said that I asked her if it was like God, what was that other movie? Was it like Mother? And she said no.
It's better than Mother, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The last act is just it's too much. It's too much. It's gross. It's self-indulgent. The film overall is very slow paced and deliberately so. Here's the thing, though. I still like it, mainly because of Jesse Buckley and Roy. What's his last name? How do you pronounce Roy Kinnear?
I think so.
Yeah, I thought he was great. So, Mac, what's the category above? What is it? Okay or whatever. What's the next category?
Good.
I'm between okay and good. It's his weakest film of his filmography, so I'm okay wherever you put it.
I'll stick with okay. I just think that it didn't really do anything at all.
I think it was trying to be too artsy.
Yeah, we're becoming what we love, the artists.
Yes.
Because we got Tusk coming up.
Oh wait, Tusk? Oh. This movie disturbed me.
I keep thinking of Tusk with Kevin Smith.
No, this is the Tusk with Justin Long, right? We're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, this movie disturbed the hell out of me.
I love it.
I'll say it's good.
Justin Long is a horror icon. I didn't really realize that. Like, he's been in a lot of like iconic horror movies.
Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah, a Barbarian. Like, I didn't realize that. I thought he's just a kid from Dodgeball, and I'm like, oh shit, he's been out here. He's a horror movie icon. He's a screen king.
Can we? I love his appearance. I love his role in Dodgeball because he just gets his ass beat
The
constantly.
Best line.
Yes.
If I do a summer watch along, I kind of want to do Dodgeball because
Can we please do that? I would love to do that with you guys.
My favorite line was from Rip Torn. He goes, "If you could dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball." It just looks like, what? He just gets whacked. He's like, oh. He's like, any more questions? He's like, oh my god.
All right, so now we gotta do a Dodgeball watch along now.
It's so quotable too, because what do you say when you hit him? It's like, God, you suck harder than a cock flavored lollipop.
And here's the thing, like the sudden death is so
It's funny.
should not happen at all, but it's so funny. It's so great. I don't care. Oh, there's so many things.
Do you know about the alternate ending?
No.
So they filmed the ending where Global Gym won, and it just cut to black.
Oh, that's dark.
I think it's on the DVD, or like they just said that it was the alternate ending, and they almost put that as the ending, just kind of like make it like not be like the underdog story.
I have the Blu-ray of it, so I'm gonna go check out the Blu-ray now and see if I can watch the alternate ending. Okay.
But before we move on, my last favorite scene in Dodgeball was when they went against the German team, and they're like had the picture of David Hasselhoff. I was like,
yes.
We're doing it to Hasselhoff, and it cuts to him as the coach. It's just like, you shame the Hasselhoff, even though I'm him, but it's like just so many. Also, shout out to Chuck Norris. He's like, you suck, Chuck Norris.
You suck.
It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, Jesus.
But okay, so we got one that was recently last year and one that I liked and it got a little divisive. That's Alex Garland's Civil War.
Peak. For me, it's peak. I love this is probably well, I don't know, because Warfare is pretty freaking phenomenal. Civil War to me was fantastic, Mac. I kind of like the whole perspective of the journalist view. The marketing is a bit of a liar because the marketing made it seem like a straight up action movie. It is not an action movie at all.
No, God, no.
Yeah, but I love the performances. Matt, come on, Kirsten Dunst in this movie is stupid good. Kaylee Spaney's great. The siege on the White House sequence, Mac. Oh my,
that was pretty
Lord.
good.
Yes, so great. Jesse Plemons has a cameo, and it is one of the best uses of a cameo I have ever seen. It
That's
is
probably the most
thrilling,
viewed.
haunting. Yeah,
That's the most viewed scene on YouTube from that movie. It's Jesse Plemons' part.
Mac, it is it's disturbing. It's
And
haunting.
I think I read he did that as a favor because him and Kristen Dunst are married. He just came on
I
set.
think
He's like,
so.
I bet. Like,
Yeah, it probably was a favor.
that's. I will say, like, the only problem I have with it is just like I'm not going to use realism, but you're telling me that Texas, California, and Florida all teamed up, said, "Let's team up." Ain't no way in hell that's happening. Texas on their own would fight the United States if they could.
Yeah, they would.
And another thing too, like I still think Civil War is really good. I was one of the defenders of it last year. Like I gave it a really good grade, and I put it in my top 10 list. I thought the ending at first was a little too abrupt, but I did kind of get it. And like especially when Kristen Dunst's character died, I was like, oh, okay. And then it just kind of moved on. But it kind of paid off from earlier because when the other girl's character said, "Would you shoot me if I die?" She's like, "What do you think?" And you know, it happened to Kristen Dunst, and she shot her as she died. You're muted.
Yeah, I just realized that's my one big criticism of Civil War is the way they handle Kirsten Dunst's death should have been handled better.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like a Anyway, let's go ahead and move on.
Let's go see Ron Swanson.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah. Good job sacrificing yourself for a kid. Anyway, let's go over there where Ron Swanson is. So,
and they underutilized Ron Swanson. I wanted more him as the president.
Yes. However, the scenes he was in were impactful because he's a coward.
Yes.
So, anyway, what's next?
I don't know what this one is. It's like
I think that's problem Mista with Tilda Swinton.
Oh, problem. Yeah, I've never seen that.
Seen it. Yeah, I haven't seen it
either. Well, yeah. Here, this one is The Last Right with Ethan Hawke.
First Reformed.
First Reformed. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I think Ethan Hawke is the best thing about the movie. Performance-wise, he's great. I've only seen it once.
Here's the one I think we should put in peak. 8th Grade.
I'm perfectly good with you putting it in peak. I love 8th Grade. Personally, not for myself. 8th Grade sucked for me, but this was a great movie. So
nice. I know where you were going at first, and then it got to me at the end. But no, I feel like 8th Grade did suck, but the movie was amazing. Next one we have is A Boy's State.
A what state?
A Boy's State.
I haven't seen it. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh God. I saw the TV glow. Oof.
Haven't seen it. Sorry.
The most overrated movie last year, in my opinion. Okay. It was okay. Like, it's overhyped. It's fine, y'all. It's okay. I'm not a Justice Smith fan either. He kind of annoys me. Tuesday.
I have seen this. It's good. Good movie.
Okay. Then we have The Woman's,
Oh, The Humans.
The Humans,
Also good.
Janet Planet.
Haven't seen it.
Okay, we'll put this here. I don't know what this one is.
I don't know either.
Okay, we'll just go here. The
I
front
haven't seen
room.
these last two. So
Okay, well, I don't know front room. Sing Sing will do really good. But yeah, no, this is our abridged A24 list. Really good. I think this is pretty good. Fair. I know some people would fight us on some of the stuff that's in the good tier because they think it's peak, but it's fine for where it is. We just having fun with it.
Well, the thing with A24 is you're going to get your divisiveness with almost all their films because, with A24, you're going to leave the theater, Mac, either depressed, scarred, or both.
Yeah, there's no in between.
No. It's either one of the two or both. Now, which is why I'm looking forward to Materialist, not just because of Dakota Johnson. Shut up, Mac. But the fact that it looks like a more straightforward type of film, like it looks like a straightforward rom-com, but it's coming from the director of one of my actual favorite A24 film at the moment, which is Past Lives. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she comes up with Materialist. So
nice. But Rod, we are wrapping up soon. So we got one more. We got a few minutes for a quick tier list. We only got 6 movies to grade because you and I have recently seen Final Destination Bloodline. So now we will be quickly ranking the Final Destination movies. Rod, I posted my review earlier today, and I think you liked it. What did you think of Bloodlines?
it's the best of the franchise for myself. I have a soft spot for this trilogy, or for trilogies, for this franchise, Mac. I think there are definitely stronger films than others. I think everyone can agree on what the weakest film of the franchise is for sure. But this is I think we can all agree on that. But this is a franchise, Mac, that I think I appreciate the franchise for always following its own rules. But until there was a point, Mac, until a certain film where I felt like everyone was actually trying to act. Until there was a certain point where this franchise they were just like kind of going through the motions in terms of, we'll kind of phone it in. But we weren't going for the acting or story, Mac. We were going for the ridiculous kills and to be entertained. However, I felt like with one particular film, which you guys can probably guess what it probably is at this point by me talking about it, I loved how much depth they gave to characters and while still being ridiculously entertaining. And yeah, so we'll get to that on Mac. Let's go ahead and get the ranking started.
All right, so we got the first one, the Big Kahuna, Final Destination 2000. So this is the one people will say is still the best of the franchise. Kind of established everything that we knew, gave people the fear of flying, gave us one of the best, I guess the start of the most random deaths when Terry got damn near steamrolled by the bus. She got Regina George, but died.
Yep.
I want to put it in excellent. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't even know why Sublime's here. Let's be face it. We're not.
None of the films are Sublime. Yeah. No.
Yeah. So I don't know why it's there, but actually, yeah, I love the first Final Destination. I think it's good. I love Devon Sawa. It gave us Ellie Larder as Clear, Sean William Scott as well too, and I like to read the fact that they originally pitched this as an X-Files episode.
Yeah, that's right. Wait.
Yep,
No,
the
I
original.
didn't know that. I thought
yeah,
no,
so the original concept for Final Destination, they pitched it as a X-Files episode. I think they said no, but New Line Cinema got James was James Wong, I believe is him, and Jeffrey Reddick. They said make this like a movie, and that's what he did. That's how we got Final Destination.
There you go. Okay.
What about you? You like the first one?
Oh yeah, I just rewatched it a couple days ago. Kind of leading up to
Hell
seeing
yeah.
Bloodlines last night. So yeah, still great. I do think within the first few films, there's too much time in between set pieces. I don't
Mhm.
think they kind of paced that right, but well, that's a conversation for another film. But anyway, go ahead.
All right, we got Final Destination 2.
It's
My
good.
personal favorite, I think it gets overhated on, but this one's the most influential one because this is when the deaths started getting more wacky. Log truck, of course, is probably the most iconic scene from this film. Gave a lot of people fears of driving behind log trucks. It connected. It did a good job of building more of the story and how the system works in the Final Destination series.
Yep.
Weird seeing TC Carson in this movie because he was in Living Single and the voice of Kratos at the time, which is pretty funny. AJ Cook would go on to do Criminal Minds, of course. But it also, I guess, is the one that, well, considering Bloodlines, if it even counts that maybe the Burke and Kimberly are the only two survivors of the series.
Yeah, I guess so. Because when they referenced like someone survived, I was like, wait, who survived? Oh, yeah.
Because
So
because they lay out the rules of this series with Tony, the late great Tony Todd, who's William Bloodworth, says that only new life can stop death, and they pretty much you have to die and then get resuscitated, and that's like you beating death because death is like, all right, I got you, but I'll come get you later. But what we learned in Bloodlines, did that really count if it's her dying, or was she just unconscious?
so they didn't say that she died though, right? She's still alive, correct?
Well, no, she died when she drowned in the river. When she drove the ambulance in the second movie.
Kimberly. Because she's the main character of the
It was
second one,
not.
right?
Yeah.
Why am I thinking of somebody else, Mac?
Oh, and they
Wait,
also killed
hold
off
on.
Alex.
She's she sacrificed herself, right?
Yeah, because she drove after the explosion in the hospital. She drove the ambulance because she kept having visions of like water and like
Okay.
drowning.
So basically, every character in the franchise has died.
Yeah, but I think Kimberly and Burke are the only ones that survive. Even though there's a newspaper clipping saying that her and Burke fell into a wood chipper, even though that's not canon. It was a deleted scene. So I think they're technically still alive because Alex died between movies because they said he had a brick fall on his head.
Because I took it as in Bloodlines when he said Kimberly was the only survivor, it's like she's still alive.
So I think she
That's what.
might be still alive. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like she died, but she's still alive because yeah. So I don't know. This franchise sometimes, Mac,
Yeah, when you get deep into it, you start to lose your mind. You're like, wait a
they
minute.
really do.
But let's move on to the I'd say probably the most controversial one. The third one. This one has its fans, has its defenders. It did introduce us to Ramona Flowers, aka Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yes, sir.
Um, it I'm not really a fan of the third one, to be honest with you.
I'm sorry. Okay, that's fine. I get it. I love the third one. It was actually my favorite until another film that came out. So, but yeah, I really love this movie. So, for me, it's hold on. I have this thing on full screen. There we go. I would have it at very good. Honestly, to excellent. So,
Okay. I'll put it in if I get to tab. I'll put it in. I like how it says very good. I'll put it in good because I think the deaths become a lot more cooler because the tanning
yes.
booth deaths are good. The weightlifting death was pretty good.
Oh,
And I like the end. the ending is probably the one I feel like is like the most oh shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And here's one that sucks dick. It's Final Destination 4 or The Final Destination. This movie sucks.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm not talking about it. I don't want to talk about it. Let's just move on.
This movie is horse shit. This is genuinely the worst Final Destination for so many reasons. One of the reasons is that Final Destination wanted to hop on that 3D trend. So what did they market this movie as? The 3D experience of Final Destination. Has the worst characters. The deaths are all right. It just does nothing. And it was supposed to be, it wasn't Final Destination 4. It was the Final Destination because it was going to be the last one. Until it didn't do well, people were like, oh shit.
Yeah, this film. Yep, nope, does nothing. So yeah, it is one of the worst. Honestly, Mac, it's probably my 20 worst films ever made. This film is god awful. So anyway.
Well, at least we had that cool ending X-ray kill with the main characters died.
Yeah,
and they killed off Bubba. They killed off Bubba, the best character.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to a better film, Mac, shall we?
Yeah, we're on to Final Destination 5, the film that at the time was billed as the last one, but we all know that wasn't it, and it had probably one of the most underrated twist endings of all time.
That's what I was gonna say. This film to me has the best ending of all the films because they do such a great job of hiding its time period.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you see what happens at the end, it's like, oh, it ties into this movie. Oh, that's clever. And then kind of how it establishes new rules in terms of you kill somebody, you get that person's lifespan. It's like, oh, that's an interesting kind of twist and rule. So I would say it's very good, man. I low key really did. I low key love this movie. And the opening set piece, Mac, of this on the bridge, it's awesome. Loved it.
I think since the first one, it was the best one because the second, well, actually, it was since the second one because I didn't like the roller coaster and the NASCAR one was pretty stupid.
Yeah,
but
agreed.
Yeah, I will say that ending was peak because, and especially too, like you mentioned, they do good job. Fucking spoilers. Final Destination 5 is a prequel to the first one because the film takes place in 2000, and there's little hints where you can tell when it takes place because they're not using 2011 technology. And when the two characters get on the plane, you see some kids getting kicked off the plane. They take off. They're on flight 180, and when I tell you the absolute moment of dread that hit my body when they realized they were on that same plane, I felt so because I like these characters. That was the worst part. Like these characters are likable. You're like they can't do anything. Like first your girlfriend gets split in half and he gets spit roasted by a plane. What can you do? And the black guy gets crushed by a damn wheel in the bar.
I know they couldn't leave our black guy alone. They had to kill him too
because they connects to the series. Because so when they introduced the rules of if you kill someone, you take their lifespan. What was his name? I forgot his name, but he was like one of the college kids that took the job of the foundry, and the older guys were like, "Oh, you college book smart kids." So he accidentally killed one of the guys. He takes his lifespan, so you think he's fine. He's at the guy's wake, and one of his coworkers comes and was like, "Yeah, the guy had like a tumor in his brain, and he would have died. It would have popped in a second." But there's actually a picture of a race car, and it was a race car from the last movie, so it kind of connects to the entire series. And this was meant to be like, "Hey, we're done." Closing up shop, that's it. And for a time it was, and then recently we got Final Destination Bloodlines, which even goes further to the 60s and takes place after 4. And I feel like that this is the true ending of the series, in my opinion.
It is to me, Mac. This is if they were to ever stop making these, this is the perfect place to stop. However, this film's going to make a lot of money. And so we're gonna get another one.
I just think the way that Tony Todd's gone, and we do learn stuff about
Wait, Mac, you there, Mac?
Yeah, I'm there.
Oh, okay, okay. You kind of
No,
popped.
I thought you were telling me to shh.
No, I just wanted to say, like, Tony Todd's speech was, it's one of the best. It's one of the best movie speeches ever, Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that speech broke my heart in all the best ways, like in a good way, because he starts talking about enjoying life and stuff, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is breaking my heart right now.
Because he's
And
been
you
in with
kind of see the condition he's in, and
yeah.
it's like, oh no, 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 no. But you get backstory on this. Oh wow. Oh, I don't. Oh, okay. I spoiled something.
It makes sense because it ties the entire series. Because you're like, how do you know all this? Like when we first meet him in the first movie, he just knew exactly what to do, and it's like I've seen this before. Because he was in every single movie except for 4, and then 3 he wasn't in there like as William Bloodworth, but he was there as like a couple cameos. But he's William Bloodworth in 1, 2, 5, and 6. And it is funny in this movie. He goes, people have been coming to me for years about this. I'm just sick of this shit. Then it was like, I ain't doing this shit anymore. You're on your own. It's just like,
listen, I think that his yeah, I just really love the speech in this. It just because it just felt so genuine. Like it didn't feel like the character talking, it just felt like Tony Todd talking to us, the fans,
and did you
telling
see
us
the
to
picture of
enjoy
the cast?
life. Yeah.
Did you see the picture of the cast posted of him?
No, I didn't see that.
They posted a picture of him with the entire cast. They were filming the scene, and they all took a picture with him.
Man, don't get me crying, man. I don't want to start doing that.
I did almost cry. I will say what he did. I did put 2 and 2 together when I figured out what they were going with. I'm like, I wonder if that's gonna get. And then when it happened, I was like, I knew it.
They, in terms of celebrity death or like actor deaths before their last film came out, there's only one other Mac I can really say they nailed it, and that was Paul Walker's in Furious 7 in terms of his send off. This send off for Tony Todd Mac was just so beautiful. Because, like I said, it just felt so him talking to us and not the character talking to us. So, but I mean, the movie as a whole, it's amazing. I love it. Mac, the first 20 minutes is something I've never thought I would see in a Final Destination film. And the fact that they actually gave these characters some depth and I could actually care for them. I was talking about this with our buddy Zach. Like I was telling Zach, I said, this is the first time in the entire franchise where I legit give a damn about any of these characters.
I was gonna say, yeah, they actually, because they made them characters.
Yes. And they spent some time developing them and actually investigating this stuff. And then boy, I don't want to talk about the ending, but it broke my heart. But of course, it had to end the way Mac. It had to end the way it did, but it broke my heart.
It was like, damn, and the way that it happened too, I was like, yeah, where you give some people a $50 million budget and they will show you because the thing I like about Bloodlines, they show you every single moment. Because in the past, they'll cut away a little bit or like they won't show a lot of it. No, they use that whole budget to show you every single thing that happened.
Yep, yes, sir.
And I loved it, every second of it. But yeah, see Final Destination Bloodlines. I'll have a video review of it this weekend. But Rod, man, it has been a pleasure as we hit 11:10 at night. We got everything we wanted to get done. We did our tier list of A24 films, and we did there we go. We did Final Destination. We talked about how it was a great film. And do you think Bloodlines is the surprise hit of the year so far?
Yes and no. Yes, from the standpoint of I didn't expect Final Destination to be as great as it. Like, it's a Final Destination film, and I didn't expect it to be that emotional and that, like I said, to care about these characters. No, from the standpoint of, I gotta look at my letterbox again because I feel like there was one other film out there really surprised the heck out of me this year.
I'm just shocked you got 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like,
That
holy.
that is surprising. Yes. Yeah, looking at my list now, it's probably, you got films like, Black Bag, which is, well, that's a Steven Soderbergh. You expect some greatness out of Steven Soderbergh.
Yeah.
Sinners, Ryan Coogler, you expect that to be at least great, right? Thunderbolts, I would consider a surprise, man, only from the standpoint of where the MCU is at in terms of worldwide reception isn't the strongest. So, but yeah, Mac, I think you're right. I think this might be the surprise of the year so far, or Companion.
Oh, yep.
So,
Don't forget about Companion.
I think that's it. So yeah, I would say this is probably the biggest surprise of the year so far.
Okay, well, check it out, everyone. And I want to thank you all for tuning into this live stream. We had so much fun. Rod, once again, you are the best live stream co-host. You bounce off. We love it. Next time, maybe we'll go live in June. Maybe we'll do something, maybe the 2019 films, and we'll see what we can
I would
do.
love that. Let's talk about that.
And then, of course, you got maybe some watch alongs as well, too. But Rod, they can find your stuff. Where can they find you? I'll link everything in the description below.
Yeah, so mainly, where you can find me now. I don't post anymore, but you can still find me on my personal film page. I'm still on there. I'm still active at the Cinema Gallery. You see it there in my little tag at the bottom there, where my name is. That's Cinema Gallery with 3 L's. But where you can mainly find me is with myself and my amazing other co-host, and incredible friend, Ben Saunders, over at the Affinity Film Podcast, where we record. Basically, we have a new episode every week. We just appreciate those who keep sticking around and listen to us every week. So you can find us there at the Affinity Film Podcast. Like I said, we got an episode coming out tomorrow, centered around a bunch of different topics, including Sinners and Avengers Doomsday, and talking about Andor season 2. So you can catch us out there, and we're posting more often now. So we got a Mission Impossible episode coming out in 2 weeks. So
hell yeah.
Yes, be on the lookout for that. But yeah, that's where you can find me mainly. And then, of course, whenever Mac wants to have me back on here. So yeah,
or on the podcast. Don't forget.
You're always welcome, Mac. You just gotta it's always scheduling, Mac. It's always scheduling. It's the toughest part.
Same with our podcast. Y'all are more than welcome to come back on as well too.
Kirsten never reaches out to me. She doesn't talk to me anymore. So that's
damn, man. Come on. We love you here. But hey, big thanks. Check out the Affinity Film Podcast. Check out Rod's stuff as well too. And don't forget, use the promo code MMR Summer. Get yourself some merch. We got mugs. We got shirts. We got stickers. Link in the description. This code's good until the end of August. That's a steal. You're saving $4.99 of the shipping, free shipping all summer long. Come on, y'all. But until next time, I have been Mac. This has been Rod. And thank you for tuning into this live stream. We see you all next time. Peace.
Oh shit, we're done. Okay. All right.